I don't even know if I'm in focus. I'm just gonna film. So today I wanted to do another story time video, and today's story time video, I really apologise in advance if I've told this story before. I'm pretty convinced I haven't, and if I haven't, I'm quite surprised that I haven't, because this is a true story. So when I was about 4, my dad was nearly shot. What I will do, if I can find some links of some stuff, I will put it underneath this video so you can actually kind of read about what happened. So I was born in this really little town called Hungerford, and it was called the sleepy town of Hungerford because nothing ever happened there. It was a really small kind of little villagey town where everybody knew everyone, and it was a lovely place to grow up, and I was there till I was about 12 years old, and it was amazing and I loved it, and I had the best friends growing up ever. I'm really sorry, I'm wearing a strapless bra and it just keeps falling down. It was a random Sunday, if I remember correctly, because Mum was at home and I was at home, and my sister must have been about 2 years old or something. My dad was at work, he had the radio on or something like that, and we lived within walking distance of our shop at that time. So we could walk from our house to our shop. It was probably about a 10-minute walk, but I mean, obviously not me because I was 4 and I was still kind of like not really allowed to go anywhere by myself, quite clearly. But it was a walking distance, so my mum and dad could like walk to work. Because my dad had cash and carry and stuff to do, obviously he had to take the car and stuff and unload it. He was at work and Mum was at home, and Mum was about to take me out somewhere in a pushchair. No, I was gonna walk and then my sister was in a pushchair. So it was a really quiet Sunday and Dad was at work. I can't believe I keep saying the same thing over and over again. Just get to the friggin' point. Somewhere along the lines, this man, I don't know if he was mentally unstable in the first place, but either way, he started shooting people in a town nearby called Marlborough. And he was in Marlborough, he shot a couple of people in a park and started walking towards Hungerford, like on foot with this massive, like long rifle. He shot a few people, obviously like the police got wind of it, no one could stop him. He basically, the idea behind what people were saying on the news were he shot anything that he saw moving. So if a car drove past or someone yelled at him or somebody spoke to him, he literally just shot at them. And I don't know how many people he killed, I really can't remember. I think it was like maybe 9 or something people that he shot in total. And so what happened was, it kind of went on the national news, and it was on the local radio, and my dad was listening at work, and they basically said that this madman is walking towards Hungerford. He's got a gun, he's not listening, everybody just needs to go home, everybody needs to close their windows, everyone needs to stop twitching their curtains, and everyone just needs to get inside their house pronto. My dad was at work and he's thinking, right, somehow I need to get home. And what happened was, this guy, my dad's shop was also in like a little cul-de-sac, and it was surrounded by houses. So my dad's shop was kind of in the middle of it. But in order to get back home, he had to walk out of this cul-de-sac, down this road, and then obviously to our house. So he had like a 10-minute walk ahead of him, and he was told not to go anywhere on the radio and stuff. And what happened was, this guy came through the park and he was shooting at random people twitching their curtains. So he basically shot at people's houses if he saw people like in the windows and stuff. And then he started walking towards my dad's shop, and witnesses were saying that it looked like he was kind of going to go in towards the shop. And my dad's thinking, I've got nowhere to hide, and it's a really small little grocery shop. Like, what the hell am I going to do? Apparently there's a taxi driver parked outside my dad's shop, and he was obviously listening to what was going on the news and on the radio and stuff. So he saw this guy, his name was Michael. He saw Michael walking towards my dad's shop with a rifle, and he just shouted out something. Michael turned around, he shot this taxi driver in the head, killed him, and then did like an 180 and started walking the opposite way. And I can't help but think, rest in peace this taxi man, but I can't help but think that he actually saved my dad's life, because it looked like he was going right towards my dad's shop, and this taxi driver just kind of yelled at him. He got shot, and then because he must have known it was a cul-de-sac, he must have just turned around the other way and started walking the other way, thinking, I can't stand near where I've just shot somebody, I need to keep walking. My dad was like phoning Mum, and Mum was about to take us out like on a walk to the park or whatever, and she opened the garage door and she started getting the pram out of the garage. She put like my sister in the pram, and like we were just getting ready to go to the park and go to walk and stuff like that. And this helicopter started flying over our house, and obviously beckoning my mum to go back inside the house. Like, you need to go back inside, ma'am. there's a killer on the loose, like whatever he was saying is, this is a police warning, it's a police helicopter, you need to go back inside. And my mum's just going, Kiwi, hello, Kiwi. So yeah, basically my mum's just making like all this racket in the street, like waving at these people. And then I think the helicopter came quite far down and said, ma'am, you need to go, with like a megaphone, like, ma'am, you need to go back in the house, it's a safety warning. So mum went back in the house, and by this time my dad's like manically ringing my mum because he knows that she was going to take us out for a walk. My dad's ringing home, like, get inside the house, make sure the doors are locked, close the curtains, and just stay upstairs in the bedroom or something like that. I'm on my way home. And my dad had obviously heard what happened outside his shop, and he saw the man walking away. And the sad thing about it is Michael had been coming to my mum and dad's shop for years and years and years. And mum and dad said he seemed really normal. He was a nice, pleasant boy. He was about 21, I think, when all this stuff happened. I can't remember exactly, but I will look everything up, and I will put articles and stuff in the description bar below for what happened if I can find links. And we lived on a road called De Montfort Grove, which was near a Jonagle, which was near a school. Like, again, it was a 2-minute walking distance from a school that a lot of my friends went to. And he walked up our road, and witnesses were like, he shot into the ground, and there were still bullet holes in the ground as we were playing as children in the ground that they never did anything with. And my friend's nan was shot, which was awful. And then he walked, because we lived in a cul-de-sac as well, so he must have walked up our road and then walked back down. And then what he did was he walked to the school, and inside the school, where he was surrounded by police, and obviously witnesses were saying to the police, we know where he's gone, he's walking down this road. So it didn't take long for the police to actually find him. But then what happened is he went to the school and he committed suicide. And I don't know what triggers off someone to do something like that, because mum and dad were absolutely shocked. Like, they knew his family and stuff as well. And his mum was absolutely shocked. I think he shot at his mum, but I don't think he killed her. But I think he shot at his mum when he started going mad. Because he started in his own house and then obviously like walked around and just started shooting things. And nobody will ever know the trigger of what happened. Nobody will ever know why. Nobody will ever know whether it was just like het up tension for years and years and years. But, you know, mental health is a very serious thing. And if we can prevent whatever switches people, and if we can prevent people taking drastic actions for reasons that, you know, is uncomprehendable to somebody like me that has absolutely no idea. I don't know a lot about mental health, but I know it affects lots and lots of people. And it could be that he was just really depressed, and it could be that things were building up. It could have been that he was being bullied, like it could have been that he was sacked from a recent job and he just snapped. I don't know what happened, but yeah, it's really scary, and I'm just very, very grateful for that taxi driver that pretty much, in my opinion, saved my dad's life. So it's something that every time it's the 10-year anniversary, like Hungerford, all the people in Hungerford get together, and it's really close and it's really amazing. And oh, it was called the Hungerford Massacre for anyone that might have vaguely remembered it. But it was one of those towns, nobody really knew where it was, and it was like in the middle of nowhere, and it was almost such a small town that it was like a village. But they do a lot of antique roadshow and stuff in Hungerford because there's loads of antique shops everywhere. And it's really scary to think that, you know, that was really close to, you know, being something that I could have witnessed. Luckily, I was too young to like remember anything at the time, but it's just really, really scary. And you don't know when things are going to happen, and you don't know when you're going to find yourself in a crappy situation. So yeah, that's just my story time on how my dad was nearly shot. It's a true story. Like I said, I'll try and put some links in the description bar below. Yeah, it's just really awful. And I think, so if I was 4, it must have happened in about 1988. I'm not sure exactly. I'm pretty sure I was about 4 years old. So yeah, thank you for listening to my very random story about life, and I will try and think of some random stuff that's happened. Love you guys lots, and I will see you soon. If you want to see more videos about story times, then please do subscribe and also hit the notification bell to see more videos from me, and I will see you guys very, very soon.